Someday, when we can truly look back on the pandemic, the cost of COVID will mean different things for all of us. For some, it's meant a further disconnect from others. News Channel 5's Carrie Sharp takes us inside one of Tennessee's prisons where vital services are just returning. New at 6.
14 months. That's how long the women here went without visitors of any kind. And even the top brass here will tell you those visits are not a luxury. They are necessary. As evening falls at the Deborah Johnson Rehabilitation Center and the common areas grow quiet, tucked away inside,
ask for help when you need it. Like, there's so much power in that.
That's right.
Work is underway.
Breaking up with your old people before you leave prison.
And it is welcome work.
Another goal.
Even if it requires some soul searching.
I'm not proud of this, but I've been out a million times, and that is the hardest part.
Well, yeah.
These women, all inmates, are part of Thistle on the inside.
Yeah.
They are guaranteed a spot in the Thistle Farms residential program if they are granted parole.
How much say do you have in the outcome?
Before then, meetings like this paved the way for a smoother transition back into the real world. But when COVID hit last March, everything stopped. No one was allowed in.
Completely locked down.
Inmates were barely allowed to move.
No, we couldn't come out of our room. We couldn't use the phone. There was some weeks where we couldn't even use the phone because they were not sure if that was going to put us at risk.
Tennessee Department of Correction Commissioner Tony Parker remembers where he was when he made the decision.
What was your thought process of how that would impact the inmate population?
I knew it was going to be a heavy lift, right? I mean, when you take away volunteer services and when you take away visitation, when you stop that interaction that's really critical to the mission of corrections, I knew it was going to be a challenge.
A challenge because TDOC staff can only do so much. The department relies on 6,000 volunteers to provide rehabilitative, spiritual, and educational services.
Stay out of trouble.
Okay, and how do you stay out of trouble?
Hallie Wiedner is one of those volunteers.
They are my favorite days.
Coming 3 nights a week.
Right.
She's a social worker with Thistle Farms and says investing in these women now benefits all of us.
A very common statistic is 95% of people who go into prison come out. So they're going to be in your community, they're going to be your neighbors, they're going to be your colleagues at work.
And this was so easy. So I firmly believe
Katie is one of those women.
Thing for me.
She's been in and out of the system since she was 13 years old.
I can't imagine what would have happened if I would have had a program like this 15 years ago. You know, it's just what could have been different.
Her next chance of parole comes later this year.
It gives you hope and it makes you feel, it takes away the fear of walking out the door.
You guys did awesome today also.
Good job, y'all.
And she hopes this program is part of her journey to a new way of life.
You wouldn't think that it would be a scary thing, but it's frightening.
Carrie Sharp, News Channel 5.
Good job today.
Thanks, Carrie. Commissioner Parker told Carrie TDOC could actually use twice the number of volunteers, both inside prison facilities and to work with the thousands of people on parole across the state. If you're interested, we have details posted on newschannel5.com.